Did you know that you can add GIFs or GIFs, however you want to pronounce it, to your spreadsheets? So I was nerding out a bit this past weekend and I found out that you can add GIFs to your spreadsheets and I got super excited about it. So of course I had to come on here and share it with you. Hi, I'm Michelle and I'm excited to share this little hack with you. So as you can see, my cute little icon over here is animated. It's moving around. It's adding a little pizzazz to my spreadsheet. And so I wanted to show you how to actually add them in, and later on in the video I'm going to actually show you how to make them in Canva. So just so you can see a little comparison, so we have our very static icon over here, very boring, but then you come over here and you got this cute little GIF, whatever you want to call it. So you can actually add these in. So I'm going to show you how to add it. It's super easy. Once you've saved your GIF, I'm going to call it GIF. You guys can fight over however you want to say it, but I'm going to call it a GIF. So to add in your gift, it's super easy to do. What we want to do is we want to go to Insert, we want to go to Image, and we want to choose Image over Cells, because the GIF, if you try to do it in cell, it does not work. It becomes a static image. So what you actually want to do is insert image over cells. So I'm going to select that. It's going to ask me to browse. I'm going to go through all my lovely images here. So I'm going to add in my calendar GIF. And there we go. So as you can see, it's a little bit blurry right now because it's a lot bigger than what I've created it for. So I'm going to select it. And I've got my big box here, and I'm just going to take the arrows or the little corners and just slowly make it smaller. And as you can see, I could put it anywhere I want on my spreadsheet, and you've got a little bit of fun there. So that's an easy way to do it. So if you already have your GIFs, you can just go insert image over cells, choose your GIF and add it in there, and then just resize it and move it to wherever you want. Super easy. Now, if you're like, Michelle, I don't know how to make GIFs, how do I make them? I'm going to show you, and I'm going to talk a little bit about what are the different things we should consider when we're adding GIFs to our spreadsheets. So I always want to remind you that the more images or the more GIFs that we add to our spreadsheet, the more likely it is to slow down our spreadsheet. So I want us to really think about kind of limiting how many images or how many GIFs that we add into each of our spreadsheets. If you want to do a couple of them, great, you can add them in there and it shouldn't slow down your spreadsheet too much. But if you decide to make it really image heavy, especially if you're doing a bigger GIF or a longer GIF, and putting it in there, it has the potential to slow down your spreadsheet. So just keep that in mind when you are making them. Try to make them smaller sized. Try not to make as many of them. So I have my rules here. I say keep it simple. So we want to keep the GIF as simple as possible, not so many millions of different elements in it. We want to make sure that we keep it short and that we have only a couple of them in each spreadsheet, or maybe just one, because even just adding, let me just get rid of this one, even just adding this one, even though it's in the corner, it adds a little bit of extra pizzazz to our spreadsheet. So you don't need a million GIFs in your spreadsheets. Just remember, keep it simple, right? So I'm going to show you actually how to make these. So I'm going to hop over to Canva. There we go. We got a few different options here. Now I want to say there's a few different elements that you can actually add into your GIFs when you're creating them. So you can add in text, you can add in clip art or different stickers. You can also add in video. So I'm going to show you a few different ways of doing this. I've played around with this because I was nerding out and having a little bit of fun the other day. So I've created a whole bunch of different ones. So here's my original GIF that I just showed you, but I made a few other ones over here. So please remember that we are using, if you're deciding to create these GIFs for a commercial use planner, like you've created a spreadsheet, you want to sell it in your shop, make sure that all the elements that you have inside of your GIF are commercial use friendly. So you've purchased them, you have the commercial use license, and you're allowed to use them in your products that you're selling. Now, if you're just creating this for your own spreadsheet and you're just having fun and using it for your own personal use, then go right ahead. You can use any of the clip art you've purchased or any of the fonts or any of the different elements inside of Canva if you're deciding to use Canva. So you could play around with that for personal use, use whatever you want, but remember for commercial use, we have to be careful and use items that have been specifically allowed for us to use in commercial use. So just remember that. So I'm going to use Canva. You can use the free account, I'm pretty sure. Hold on, let me just make sure that it is. Yeah, so you can make a GIF or GIF in the free account as well in Canva or the pro account. So totally up to you which ones you use, or you can use a completely different software. Totally up to you. I only know how to use Canva, so I'm going to show you in Canva. So for this one, I decided to put a whole bunch of images together. I had bought beautiful clip art, like these cute little glamping clip arts. I bought them with commercial use on Etsy. So I've just uploaded them into my little area. Let me find some of them. So I've uploaded them all here. And all I need to do is add in all the different elements that I want to have in there. So maybe I want to add in a coffee cup. Oop, I did not want that to replace. There we go. Let's go back to my uploads. I'm just going to click on that. I'm going to resize it and I'm going to place it wherever I want. So maybe I want to bring it down here. So it's like a cozy little coffee glamping experience. I've also added text in here. With Canva Pro, you can add your own custom fonts, but if you only have the free account, you can use any of the fonts that don't have the crown. So just remember, if you're using Canva, especially if you're brand new to Canva, anything that has a crown on it, like right beside it, that means it's for the pro version. So anything without, you can use for free. And so for this one, I just specifically used my own font that I purchased, but I can change this up. So I can change this to Brittany, and then I can change this one to Brittany. So this one's a free one. These are a little bit small. I'm not going to show you how to use Canva, but I'm just going to quickly make these a little bit bigger. And there you go. So you can have a little fun with it. We can actually move it out a bit. So you want all your elements to be on your page. And I'm just going to put this tip in here because I was playing with Canva specifically, and I found that any of the elements that were along the edge kind of got cut off in my GIFs. So I'm trying to keep everything as centered as possible, leaving some extra room around the edges just in case it gets cut off again. So you might want to take that into consideration when you're making your own GIFs. But you want to add in whatever elements, and then from here I'm going to decide what I actually want to animate. So if I want to animate the entire page, I'm just going to select my page and then go to animate. So I'm just clicking the background page and I'm clicking animate. Now what I want to say here, if you are using Canva and you are using the free version of Canva, you want to match the background color to the color of the cells for your spreadsheet. So for example, where did my spreadsheet go? So right here. Yeah, so I have white cells behind here. So I would make sure the background's white. But if you've decided to have a different color for your cells, just make sure to match it up with your background, because with the free version of Canva, you can't do a transparent background for your GIF, but with the pro account you can. So just keep that in mind if you have the free version. But I've selected my back page and now I'm going to go to animate. And so there's a whole bunch of different options in here. So if you hover over them, you can see the different animations that it's going to do. That's kind of cute. Corporates. Ooh, party's cute too. There's a whole bunch of different ones. So you could play around and hold them and see what looks best. The scrapbook one's cute too. I might do the scrapbook one for this. So I'm going to choose this transition, and it's going to ask me if I want to apply it to all pages, but I only want to make this one page a GIF. I don't want to include the rest of them because they're going to be my separate GIFs. So I'm just going to leave that as is. It's just applying it to this one page, but if I want to apply it to all the pages, I could click that button as well. So I'm going to click out of that, and now I can share it. Go to download, and then I'm going to choose GIF. And then here, if you have the pro version, you can use the transparent background. If not, you don't need that. You can just download it as is. And then just remember to select the page. So I'm only want this one to be in my GIF. I'm going to click done and download. So it's going to now download. I don't know how long it's going to take. So I'm going to take a look at some other stuff here while it's downloading. I do have a video that I brought in. So there's a bunch of different free photography and stock photo type of, oh, here we go. Let me just put in version 2, and I'm going to save that as my GIF, and we're going to check that out in a second. For videos, so yeah, there's a whole bunch of free stock photo sites like Unsplash, Pixabay, Pexels, so Pexels. They have a bunch of free stock photos and stock videos that you can actually use. And so I've downloaded a video of a coffee video. So as you can see, hold on, let's play that again. There we go. As it's stirring. So I inserted my video. So I've downloaded it from that free website. So I think this one was from Pexels, so Pexels.com. And I uploaded it into Canva. Then I've actually cut the clip down because originally it was 17 seconds. So I cut it down. We want to keep our GIFs as short as possible. And so I wanted to do 3 seconds or less because remember, the longer the clip, the bigger the size, and then it can slow down your spreadsheet even more. So that's why I like to keep it nice and short. So 2 to 3 seconds long is perfect. So I've picked a specific clip there. I've clicked done. So that's just showing here. And I could save this as is, or I can add text to it. So if I want to say something cute, or I can add little doodles. There's a lot of cool elements. So if you come over to elements of Canva, let's say doodle. I'm going to search for that. And you do have an option to look for the free version or the pro version. So anything commercial use wise, I like just using the free elements of Canva. I try to avoid the pro versions for stuff that I'm creating to sell. And that's just my own personal thing. You need to look at Canva's licensing rules to make sure that you're following them. So I'm just sticking to the free for now. But see, we've got some graphics, photos, and videos, but right now I just want some graphics. So let's find some cute. Oh, we can also choose animated too. So if you want them to move, you can choose a whole bunch of those. So these are all white, so I'm not sure how it's going to stand out. Oh, that's cute. So I can add some cute little animations here. You can also choose static images as well. So if we just did both static and animated, and I selected this one, again, remember, I can still animate specific things inside of my document as well. So I can animate just this one. So remember up here, I selected the background, and that allowed me to animate everything on that page. When I just want to do one specific element, I'm going to select that element, and then I can choose my different options here. So let's do the pop one. That's cute. So I'm going to just make that small, and I'm just going to put that there. There we go. And I can choose any more elements that I want to add. Let's look for some more animated. I like these stars. These are cute. And so you don't have to add extra stuff to it, but I'm currently just to show you what else you can add. So I'm just looking to see. That is really distracting. Maybe I'll do one less distracting. Oh, this one's cute. There's a lot of different things you could play with. Let me just realign that. Put it at the bottom here. And maybe I'll get rid of this one and I'll just duplicate this one and bring it over. I like to keep things really simple, so I might even get rid of this and just keep this one because these two, because that looks super cute. I want it to focus on the coffee. There we go. So now I can actually share it. I'm going to click on download. Again, as a GIF, it doesn't matter for this one because it's a whole video covering the entire page, so you don't need to do transparent or anything. And then I'm going to select my page. So I'm going to select the current one and downloading that as a GIF. So now I'm going to hop over while that's doing its thing. We'll see how long that takes. I'm going to hop over to my spreadsheet and we're going to insert one over here. So we're going to go insert, image, image over cells. And then here's the one that I just saved today. So it might take a few minutes to show up. There we go. Not a few minutes, but a few seconds. So remember, because we're making this a little bit smaller, sometimes the fonts though get really like pixelated on oh, Canva's asking me to save something. This one is going to be coffee version 2. So I'm going to save that. There we go. So just know that sometimes the fonts get really pixelated, so you want to check that out as well to make sure it looks good. But as you can see, we got this cute little thing, so I can get rid of this one if I wanted to. And move that over there into this corner. I could put it wherever I want, but that's super cute. It's a little bit small, but you want to plan ahead and think, okay, what size of GIF or GIF do I want? So the current size that I'm using is 400 by 400 pixels, and that's because I know I'm putting it in a small space. If I was making it bigger, I wouldn't go bigger than 1,000, because remember, the bigger the size, the bigger the file size it's going to be, and it might slow down your spreadsheet. So just keep that in mind. So now we've saved our beautiful one of this. Let me go and bring that up. So I'm going to go insert image in overcells. There we go. So I can save my coffee, and let's see what this looks like. And again, some of them might look grainy, and that's a lot of GIFs look grainy. Oh, see, isn't that cute? So now we've got the stirring action, plus we got some stickers. So I can make this a little bit smaller. Obviously, if I had a better spot on my spreadsheet, I probably wouldn't include it in the spreadsheet, but like I would move it over, and like, isn't that a cute little gift to add to, I don't know, maybe like a coffee recipe type of book that I'm doing in my spreadsheet. So that's a cute way to do it with video, with animations. And then the last one I wanted to show you is text. So let me find Canva again. Oh, this one I'm just going to quickly show you as well. What I did for this one is I created an icon using Google Icons, and these are free, which is awesome. So you can look for your cute little icons. So let's say we want to do a star. You can change the color of it right here. You can change the size of it, and then you could save it as a PNG. So that's what I did. And let me go back to my Canva. So that's what I did here. I uploaded it. So I made it custom color to match my spreadsheet to make it beautiful. I put it in the middle here, remember, because we want some space from the corners. We don't want to crowd the corners. And then I selected my image. I went over to, I've already animated it. So this one is the wiggle one, which is all the way at the bottom, because it does this cute little wiggle. When you select it, you actually have an option to choose the intensity. So I can choose it to be like crazy. So maybe if I was doing like a coffee icon, I might make it all crazy, because you think of people with caffeinated tendencies, and they're all like shaky. But you can make it as low intensity as you want, so you can change that around. But there's a lot of different options here. I can probably mix a few of these together. So you could just play around with it, and then just select which one you want. You can choose the intensity. This one, again, because it's got the crown, that's a pro option to choose the intensity. So if you're using the free version of Canva, you might kind of be stuck on whatever the effect is. And then once it's ready, again, you're just going to save it as a GIF. So make sure, save it as GIF. And then if you have the pro version, save it as a transparent background. So I'm going to select my last one and download that. So you can also do just text if you want. So let me go over here. I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to get rid of my clip art. And let's say we want to do, here's my calendar version 2. There we go. So that's saved. Let me undo this for a second. I lost my stuff. There we go. So I'm going to move this down. So remember, I do want to fill up most of the page, but I also want to keep more in the middle to have my margins. And then I'm going to make my butterflies nice and big. I'm going to put that up there. I can also do transparency. So there's a lot of things you could play with here. It's Canva. You can get as creative as you want. So like I could do a text version like this, and it doesn't have to be square necessarily either, like a square document. You can do rectangles, you could do vertical ones, like you can do whatever size or shape that you want for your documents. I'm just picking square right now because it's easy for me to make, but if I was doing, let's say, text, I might just want to do a long rectangle version, and you can still make that into a GIF. Um, but yeah, so now I can decide if I just want to make these animated. I'd select these and I can choose my animation wherever, so I can animate them. So right now I think there's an animation on the entire thing. So I want to remove all animations for that and then just select my text. And I could choose, maybe this would be, flicker's kind of cute, pulse. Oh, neon's really cute. So see how it just does the text as an animation, but the butterflies stay still, or I can make the butterflies wiggle. I might do the intensity less there. Not sure I like that. Oh, we'll see. We'll see what it looks like. So I'm going to share that. Download it as my GIF. Oh, wrong one. Where was it? There you go, page 2. So let's go check out. So we've got our lovely video here. Let's add in our moving calendar. So again, same thing, you're just putting it over the cells. Here's our little moving one. You can see it's blurry, so again, I'm just going to make it a bit smaller. But now it looks crisp and lovely. And then we've got our next one, and this is here, version 3. And let's go back to our spreadsheet and add in this one. So again, I would not have this many GIFs inside my spreadsheet. I'm just showing you the examples of the different types of animations we could do. Where is it? There you go. So as you can see, I wonder if we can zoom in a bit. The font kind of looks a little bit pixelated, which is normal for, it's normal for GIFs. So I can make this a bit smaller. As you can see, I can have my little GIFs here. And obviously I would make sure that it actually fits in a nice space where it's clear of everything else. But there's a lot of options. And then in Canva, you can also just look for different stickers or animated things that you can add in. So if you want to, instead of doing the animation yourself by selecting different clip art and whatnot, inserting them in there, you can always use like any of the stickers in here. As long as they don't have a crown on them, they are for the free account. So it doesn't look like any of these have a crown on them, but like there's a lot of cute ones. Unfortunately, you can't really change the color of them, I'm pretty sure. Let's choose that. Yeah, there's no place to change colors. Unfortunately for the stickers, it is what it is. So if you see white ones, if you don't have a dark background, it might not look as good, or a colored background, but like then I can add this one in because it does have color. So there's a lot of options. You can play with it, but just know you can add some really cute GIFs to your spreadsheets and just add that extra little wow factor. You can make it really cute. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to answer any questions, and thank you so much for watching this video. Oh, and side note, if you do want to learn how to make this awesome planner, join my free Google Sheets mini course that I just created. It's just launching. You can sign up for it. It's a free course. You learn all the basics of Google Sheets. So if you want to create your own spreadsheets, whether for yourself or sell them in your own shops, I show you all the basics there. And then I also teach you step by step how to make a planner like this, a weekly planner. So check that out. Thank you so much. I'll see you later.